Welcome to the Holistic Soul Sisters Radio, a channel created to help you heal holistically and grow spiritually. I'm your host, Mandy Rose. I'm not afraid to talk about taboo subjects, so nothing is off limits here. Make sure you hit subscribe and get ready to learn more from me and other experts on all things health, spirituality, astrology, lifestyle, relationships, and so much more. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Let's begin. Hello, my Holistic Soul Sisters. Welcome back to another episode on Holistic Soul Sisters Radio. Today's topic is a little taboo. It's not as deep as we normally go into those subjects, but we're going to kind of talk a little bit about the astrological energy, most specifically about the Astrological New Year and kind of the things that we can expect. March is going to be a very energetically chaotic month. A lot of shifts, a lot of changes. If you're following me over on TikTok, I did a video on the life-changing energy of March. Over on the YouTube channel, Holistic Soul Sister TV, there's an entire video up about the astrology of March where I go through date by date, all the specific events, better ways to prepare. So I didn't really want to overlap that information here in the podcast episode, but I do want to kind of just have like a heart to heart, a soul sister to soul sister chat just about how we're all feeling and what I kind of intuitively feel energetically is coming for all of us and how we can prepare. So I guess that is the kind of taboo side of it, where when I talk about astrology, yes, it's logical. Yes, we know on a specific day where the sun is, or we know on a specific day if there's a full moon. But I'm an intuitive astrologer. So when I start channeling and I start looking at the astrology events, I immediately start feeling what that's actually going to mean or how that's actually going to play out. Now, if I'm reading someone's birth chart, that is specific to them and the information they need to know. But when I'm doing it like collectively, I kind of feel like I get this information like, oh my gosh, this is what we're going to see in society, or these are things that could come up. And if you've ever purchased one of my astrology retrograde journals, you know how that works because I write these journals in the fall and they are for the year ahead. And so I very often get people that'll message me March, April, May, like throughout the year. And they're like, oh my God, how did you know on this day I was going to feel that way? And I'm like, it's intuitive, right? So that's kind of the lens I wanted to talk about today, and more specifically about the Astrological New Year, and why it's such an important day. Like, I feel it in my soul. I have been looking at March of 2023 in the astrology for a while. So it's kind of exciting that it's here and that we're actually about to move into this energy, but most specifically about the Astrological New Year, that some major shifts are going to come with that energy. Things that we've been wanting for a really long time to happen, and they're finally going to start coming to life. And that's why I decided to throw the Astrological New Year party this year. And so I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later and my why for the event and what it's actually going to look like, and definitely why you're not going to want to miss it if you're local to Tampa. But we're just going to first kind of dive into the month of March and energetically what I'm feeling is about to come for us. Now, in order to kind of go deeper into that, I want to first talk a little bit about 2020. As astrologers, January, February of 2020, there was a major astrological alignment that astrologers could see for decades coming. But no one really knew exactly how it would play out, right? So we can see, oh my gosh, there's this major transit, this big shift of energy. What's going to happen? And then it's not until the day or the energy actually occurs that we can see how it manifests, let's say. And March of 2023 is very much like that. And there's many reasons for that. If you watch, like I said, the TikTok video or the long form video on YouTube, you know why. But for the purpose of this podcast, I'm just going to keep it simple. And first things first, we have 7 planets moving into different zodiac signs. That's a lot of energy shifting in one short month. And since each planet is a life coach to us, they take on a different vibe or a different perspective in the way that they're teaching us through each zodiac sign. So, for instance, when Venus is in Sagittarius, she's teaching us how to love ourselves by being more adventurous. She's teaching us to be more open minded and to allow for the flow and the curiosity and the exploration of life. And that's how we can receive love. But when she moves into Capricorn, it's a very opposite energy. It's about loving our success and having self worth and being determined. And like the love comes with a little bit more discipline and structure. And so when you have 7 planets moving into 7 new energies in a short amount of time, that's going to make us feel very different. So again, the energy we move into March with, that we sit here right now listening to this podcast with, is going to be dramatically different from the energy that we're going to feel in April. And that energy shift is going to make us feel different, which makes us think different, which makes us act different, which makes us behave different, which creates a different reality for us. And so, the first thing I really see intuitively happening for so many of us is that our realities are going to change. And the way that we're living our life is going to change. And the desires that we have are going to change by the time we get to April. So if you're sitting here at the end of February and you're still stuck and you're still lost and you're wanting to make big, bold, brave changes, know that's coming for you. Like there is no way you can't feel different by the time we get to April. In addition to that, as we go through March and we feel all of these energetic shifts, we then go into April, which is eclipse season. And y'all know how I feel about eclipse season. And if you've been following my content long enough, you know that eclipse season has also impacted and changed your life. And it happens in the spring and then repeats itself in the fall. Now, this year, 2023, is so unique, astrologically speaking and energetically speaking, that we're in the middle of 2 eclipse cycles at once. So last year, we were playing out the Taurus Scorpio energy, moving into more pleasure, connecting with the earth, making more money, creating more foundations and solidarity in our life, and detoxing and purging and cutting and cleansing and releasing all the Scorpio stuff. So fears, traumas, triggers, old patterns, old belief systems, old stagnant energy. But now, as we move into 2023, that's kind of fading out, but it's still active. So, we're going to have another eclipse in the fall and in the spring with Scorpio Taurus energy. But at the same time, side by side, we're also going to start a brand new eclipse cycle in Aries and Libra. And Aries is the energy of a toddler under 7. It's an energy that you better learn to start embracing because it's the most active zodiac sign popping off in the sky with lots of visitations by so many life coach planets in the next 5 to 7 years. And that energy has already started for us. So I'm going to circle back. But as far as the eclipses, that's moving towards Aries, toddler under 7, being bold, being brave, being fearless, being selfish, most importantly, selfish, and moving away from Libra. Libra is the energy of a people pleaser. It's giving too much. It's just wanting, people to be harmonious and peaceful for the sake of having just compromise. And so we give up a lot of ourselves in Libra energy just to have harmony, to have a we, to have a partner, to have a relationship. And Aries is more about the me. So we're going to step out of we's and people pleasing and needing to wait around for other people and caring about other people's opinions and being so concerned about relationships to now shifting this year into an energy of like my wants, my needs, my desires, going for my dreams, prioritizing the self. So we're all about to start entering a selfish season. And that's going to start in April with the eclipses, but that Aries energy is already active. It's already active at the end of February, but March it's going to blow up. And the reason for that is in the sky right now, at the end of February, we already have 3 celestial bodies, 2 planets and an asteroid in the Aries area of our life, in the Aries zodiac sign. And like I said, this energy is going to be active for 5 to 7 years. I will have so much more content around this, but for the sake of talking about March, know that there's already the opening act. Jupiter is already in Aries since December of 2020. Jupiter expands, Jupiter blesses, Jupiter brings in opportunity, Jupiter brings in growth. And so we've already been feeling like we want to be more selfish. We want to say no to things that don't light us up. We want to prioritize our health, our money, our habits, our rituals. Like we're already, as Jupiter's expanded this within us, been focusing on ourselves a little bit more since the end of 2022. And now, at the end of February, Venus has joined the party. And Venus is just all about bringing us more love, more pleasure, more harmony, more enjoyment. And so now we're finding the pleasure in being selfish. We are enjoying being a little bit more bold and brave and fearless, right? That Aries toddler under 7 energy. And as we move on to March 1st, it is the luckiest day of the year. The luckiest day of the year because Jupiter and Venus, the benefics in astrology, get together in the sky in Aries. So this is kind of like the opening scene, the opening act that's leading us up to the astrological new year. So in March, we have 7 planets moving into new zodiac signs. We have, the benefics, the beautiful planets in the Aries area of the sky, where the eclipses are going to begin in April. So that alone is a lot of energy. Now we add on top of that Pluto. Pluto, a planet, god of the underworld. Pluto in astrology represents fear, control, manipulation, power struggles, collectively, and definitely within our society. And Pluto is going to be moving into a new zodiac sign after 15 years of being in Capricorn. So this is a huge energy shift. This is 15 years of the same energy we've been feeling collectively, and now it's going to move in March. Now it's moving into Aquarius, which it has not been in Aquarius since 1777, meaning nobody alive on planet Earth can actually say what Pluto in Aquarius feels like. And so even as astrologers, we're just like, okay, I understand Aquarius energy and I understand the role of Pluto as a life coach, but like, damn, how is this going to play out? And so intuitively, when I lean into that, I really feel like Pluto deals with power, it deals with control and manipulation, and it really brings to light things that are not working in society. It's the god of the underworld. And so it's going to bring to light the things that do not work. And as he was in Capricorn, the things that did not work, Capricorn is government, institutions, things that have rules, things that need structure. And that's really what we've seen in a breakdown of society is all institutions, all things that have boundaries and rules. And we're kind of seeing that to light and having to deal with the truth of that. And now as Pluto moves into Aquarius, where Aquarius rules technology, innovation, social media, invention, and sciences, we're going to see a lot of darkness come to light about the way in which our society is operating from a problematic place, from a power place, when it comes to things like virtual reality, technology, the internet, social media. Like, we're going to start seeing things, that we're like going to have to destroy and start over and bring to light the truth of things. So I really feel like, this virtual reality, people staring at their screens all day, the use of social media, the way that we present things online is definitely going to either make or break us. AI, virtual reality, different technologies. Some people are going to lean into it and some people are going to see the danger in it. And that's going to get more and more powerful this month as Pluto begins his journey in Aquarius. That only lasts for a little bit because he does a retrograde back into Capricorn. So we don't officially start feeling that until next year. But pay attention to virtual reality, internet, social media, and all of that because we're definitely going to see things we don't want to face in society. When it comes to those things, a lot of very fast innovation, a lot of very fast technology, a lot of new things. Like, honestly, in 3 years, I see our reality and the way that we operate within it on a technological scale being so advanced. Like, we're just going to launch with tech and gadgets and inventions, and it's going to go so fast that like we almost can't keep up as humans. So it's kind of scary, but it's going to happen like before we know it. In addition to that, this month we have Saturn. Saturn's our tough love dad and he's Lord Karma. And like whenever he makes a move, like our whole reality shifts because his job in astrology is to teach us lessons, to force us to grow, to force us to take accountability, to step up and take authority and to kind of learn the hard way. And so he's been in Aquarius for 3 years and he's making a move after 3 years into Pisces, where he has not been for 30 years. So Pluto moving into a sign he hasn't been in 250 years. Saturn moving into a sign he hasn't been in for 30 years. We're going to have, other planets moving into signs that they haven't been in for a year or more. So, again, major energetic shifts, and Pluto is going to bring lessons in a new area of our life with Pisces. And the intuitive feeling I feel with that is Pisces is what I call the Jesus energy. So it's about compassion and empathy and forgiveness. It's about our spirituality. It's about our religion. And I made an entire video over on Holistic Soul Sister TV on what we can expect when Saturn moves into Pisces for the next 3 years. But on a deeper taboo topic, on a deeper subject, I want to kind of go into the religion and spirituality aspect of this. See, Saturn creates more discipline, more structure, more routine. Saturn wants you to be a mature, grown adult. And when he's in the zodiac sign of Pisces, which rules religion and spirituality, I feel like that's going to be a major shift in society of people going back to church, going back into spiritual practices, going back to their higher self, their source. People are going to be seeking answers. And we're going to really see, I feel intuitively, a shift in our culture where there's going to be more people going to church or practicing spirituality. That could be anything, Buddhism, Wiccan, like whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is that people will be leaning on a higher source to guide them in their life. Because, like I said, our reality is going to change. Our energy is going to change. Like, so many things are about to change. And, like, we're going to need a constant. We're going to need something to lean on. And I think that's a pillar of religion and spirituality is you have something that is constant that you can always go to, that you can always believe in, that always is true for you, no matter what your perspective of your reality is. You can always have that pillar be grounded in the same. So I think that's where people are really going to lean more into religion and spirituality. And Saturn's going to create the structure, the discipline, the routines, the commitments, the foundations of people's beliefs again and their spirituality. So it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out in society. It's also going to be interesting to see how it advances or morphs into the modern day, where a lot of religions and practices are outdated, right? They were like kind of focusing on the olden ways of doing things. And now there's a younger, newer population with new mindsets and new beliefs. And so, what is going to morph within religion and spirituality is Saturn, who loves to build things and create solid foundations, is going to come into that energy and help us build new churches, build new faiths, build new routines, new rituals, new practices, new ways of believing. So, that should be really interesting in society too, and also begins in the month of March. We also have, energy that is kind of guiding us into this astrological new year. And that is, like I said, the energy of Aries starting to get really active. And so if you don't already know, you're definitely going to want to look up where Aries is within your birth chart, what area of life that rules for you. Because like I said earlier, that's the area of life that's going to be popping off for the next 5 to 7 years, getting so much attention. Jupiter already there, Venus already there, Chiron, our wounded healer, what we need to heal, our masculine tendencies. See, Aries is the masculine. It's ruled by Mars. It's the warrior. It's the fighter. And Chiron is our wounds. And so in society, we've kind of already been dealing a lot with masculine wounds and masculine tendencies and unhealed parts of ourselves that go to anger and aggression and force when we don't get our way. And we've been already slowly healing that in society, but we have Jupiter, Venus, and Chiron in Aries. We get to the middle of the month and we get to the astrological new year. And that was really the whole point of me doing this week's podcast, is to help you understand how powerful, I can't even begin to say it enough, the astrological new year is going to be. And the reason for that is every year, the astrological new year falls in March around the spring solstice around March 20th. So that's not new for this year. But what makes it interesting, like I said, in 2023, is that we already have 3 celestial bodies hanging out in Aries, the opening acts, waiting there, already infused their energy there. Jupiter making it more, opportunistic, more blessings, more growth, more expansion, like opened us up. Now Venus is there bringing more love, more beauty, more pleasure, like helping us see the benefit in being in that energy. Chiron's helping us heal wounds that we have within that energy. And now the sun on March 20th in 2023 is going to move from Pisces into Aries. And anytime a planet moves from Pisces into Aries, it's a reset. It's going from Pisces, the 12th energy, to Aries, the first, a reset. And so that's why we call it the Astrological New Year, because the sun is resetting and we're starting new in Aries. And so on that day, in 2023, the sun is going to bring heat and life and vitality. The sun shines a spotlight upon it, helps us focus on that energy for the entire month, that sun season. In your astrological retrograde journal that I give you every year, and if you've purchased it for this year, you know that we focus on sun seasons because the sun, when it's in a zodiac sign for a month, is going to radiate that energy down upon us like a spotlight. It's going to help us energetically focus on certain things in our life that we should be focusing on. And so when the sun shifts into Aries with already 3 celestial bodies in there, it is like a boom, heat, life, vitality. Pay attention to that. It's huge this year. And not only that, but on the same exact day on the Astrological New Year, we kick off the new year with a new moon in Aries. Now, that's really rare. That's a new moon at 0 degrees of Aries. So the sun pops into Aries, and shortly after, the moon is right behind, coming conjunct and forming that new moon. Really, really cool energy to start out the astrological year with. And so we have a new moon in Aries, and that is setting a new intention, a new beginning, starting over, right? A new moon cycle where we really can manifest and bring to life what we want in the Aries area of our life. That's why we get one new moon in every single zodiac sign, because we have one opportunity every single year to set a new intention in each area of our life. And so that new moon in Aries is not unique, again, to 2023. What makes it unique is that it's on the day of the astrological new year, that we begin the year with it. And what also makes it unique in 2023 is that 1 month later, by the time we get to April, on 4/20 to be exact, we're going to have a second new moon in Aries, because that new moon is going to be at 29 degrees of Aries, where the first one is at 0 degrees. And so if you have your astrology retrograde journal, you can see this on page 26 is the first one. And then when you keep flipping through your journal, on page 31 is the second new moon in Aries. So that's what we call a blue moon. Once in a blue moon, when we have 2 back-to-back new moons or 2 back-to-back full moons in the exact same zodiac sign. That's extremely rare. So that new moon on the astrological new year is starting out the intention, is potent. So that means at that time, you got Jupiter, Venus, Chiron, Sun, and Moon all in Aries energy popping off. And then a month later, we get a second new moon in that area of life, a second opportunity to increase that energy, the intention, the new beginning. And remember, Aries is about being bold, brave, fearless, toddler under 7, climb to the jungle gym, you know, even though it's 10 times taller than them. Run across the street to get their ball without looking because they act and then think later. That's the energy we're learning to embrace. Don't be afraid. Go take the risk. Go be bold. Go be fearless. Run after your dreams. Just do it. Don't wait any longer. It's time to go. And that's an energy we've all been needing to feel for a very long time. And we've been held back by other people, by their opinions, by prioritizing other people and their needs and wants and desires. And that's leaving us hanging. That's cutting us short of our own energetic field of being able to prioritize it on the self. And so when we get to that second new moon in Aries on 4/20, and that's an eclipse, that's when that new eclipse cycle in Aries and Libra begins. Aries focusing on the self. Libra cutting out other people, people pleasing, prioritizing the needs of others, and focusing again on Aries, the self. That is going to be an 18-month cycle that plays out. So that Aries area of life, even though the sun in Aries only lasts a month, Jupiter is going to leave Aries in May. Venus is already out of Aries by, right after the astrological new year. But those eclipses, that's going to hang around for 18 months in Aries. So an energy that we're not going to get rid of anytime soon. So learning to be more selfish, more brave, more bold, more fearless, more risk-taking, all of those things is going to, again, lead us by the time we get to April to be very energetically different, to have different priorities, to think different, to behave different, and therefore to manifest a different reality. So as we do this podcast episode, and as I really want to share with you my intuitive feelings about all of this, is I feel like we're all about to be a whole lot more selfish. And I think we all need to be. honestly. I think that we focus so much on the needs of our people in our lives and helping others so we look good and feel better. And we really neglect ourselves. We say yes to every opportunity, like someone's birthday and their, dog's 2-year birthday party and this event and that event. And then we don't have time for ourselves to journal, to rest, to go to the gym. And just pay attention. If people around you are saying no more often, honor that because you should probably be saying no more often as well. And, really taking those risks in your life that you've been needing to take for a really long time. You've just been scared. And I think we all kind of need more of a kick in the pants when it comes to that. We take these calculated risks, I believe, but where do we just like climb to the top of the jungle gym, even though it's scary and it's really high and we might fall? And that's okay. Aries doesn't care if it falls, it just gets right back up and tries it again, right? So I just feel like we're all going to be kind of coming from a different operation and a different way of doing things. And I think that's going to be good. It's just going to be uncomfortable as we go through that transition. So, the astrological new year is what's really kicking off that energy as the sun is bringing in that intensity and the new moon is kicking off a new intention. And it's just going to be extremely powerful. So I guess that kind of leads me into, why I threw this astrological new year party. I felt like this was going to be such a beginning of our new chapter, a beginning of the journey that we're going to be living after March of 2023. And just like COVID happened, we did not realize in January of 2020 how much our life was actually going to change. I mean, in the moment, yeah, it changed because we had to go into quarantine, but like we didn't realize how that was going to snowball or be like a domino effect of the rest of our life. And March, specifically the astrological new year, is going to be the same way. It's going to be the first domino, the energetic shift that tips over all the rest of the things in our life that plays out to our destiny and our reality. And so, with that understanding as an astrologer, I wanted to celebrate that moment. I wanted to honor it. I wanted to really create an event that would be kind of the pillar and the memory of where it all began for you. And so I've wanted to do an astrological New Year event for many, many years, but this year I felt like I had to do it. And my personal North Node in my birth chart is in Aries. So if you were born in 1986, I don't know the exact dates, but if you were born in 1986, you probably have a North Node in Aries like me. So I'm going through my nodal return as we get to April. And all of this energy in Aries is activating my North Node, my destiny star, my purpose, my reason my soul signed up to be here. And so I'm learning to embrace being more bold, more brave, more fearless, more toddler under 7, more prioritizing my wants and needs and dreams and desires and not worrying so much about everyone else. And that's really hard for me. And so I needed to be bold and to take a risk in throwing this party. And if you saw me on social media leading up to this announcement, oh my God, I could have honestly thrown up so many times. Just talking about the event, planning the event, doing the back end stuff. I'm like, what are you doing, girl? You're so freaking crazy. But I knew I needed to take the risk. I knew I needed to be bold and fearless because what can come of this, the healing and the marking of the beginning it will have on so many people's lives and the transition it will create is so powerful. And I had to work with the astrological new year energy. So that was kind of my reason why, from an energetic perspective. And so everything I've designed around the astrological new year event is purposeful as far as embracing the Aries energy, as far as creating healing, on providing a platform for people to move forward in this new version of the reality with. So I just cannot wait to see how it manifests. I'm leaving a lot of room for it to be what it's supposed to be and letting go of my Virgo need to control every little detail, and just letting God and Source take over and create the magic that's supposed to happen on that day. And so, with that, I guess I'll kind of just share with you more of like the details and the behind the scenes of the event. And I really hope that you can join us. We're only selling 100 tickets because I want it to stay intimate. I want to make sure that the people that attend really get what they need out of it and we don't get lost in the numbers. So, again, if you're interested in this event and you're feeling called to step into this energy to really, again, create a sacred day around such a major astrological event, please get your ticket right away. I think as we get closer to the event, we will get closer and closer to being sold out. And it's just an opportunity for you to create your own wellness retreat. And so when I originally thought of this party, the back end of it, I thought, I just want to throw a party. And I was maybe going to do it at my house, but then I realized I wanted it to be bigger than that. So I thought, ooh, we should do it at a clubhouse. But then I was like, okay, how can we do it at a clubhouse? That's too much energy. If I want to have like tarot card readers and energy healers, like they can't really operate and work if there's a bunch of people around. So at that point, I was like, all right, we need to do it outdoors. So I'm like, all right, how am I going to do this? Well, with a North Node in Aries, I am learning to be more Aries, and a beautiful soul came into my life who is a triple Aries. So here's my personal recommendation as an astrologer. When you figure out what your North Node is in your birth chart, what your North Star is, go find you a friend who has that sun sign and literally try to be like them because that's going to be your cheat sheet. So I found a woman with a triple Aries energy, and she is bold, brave, fearless, risk taking, all the things. And so I went to her and she said, we got to do it outside. And I'm like, well, where the hell are we going to do it outside? I can't call the city of Tampa and be like, hey, can I throw an Astrological New Year event with healers? They're going to be like, yeah, no, that's not going to work. And then you have vendor permits and all sorts of things. So I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do? And this was in January, mind you, like very recent. So trying to pull that off last minute was like, this is crazy. So her and I kind of talked, and we had someone in the community that has land, and we thought, oh, let's just reach out to them. So she did, and he was open to the idea. But lo and behold, about 2 weeks later, he did not have access to that land anymore. Let's keep it kind of vague for privacy reasons. He did not have access to the land. So we thought, crap, well, I guess it's over. Guess that's over. And this was back on the full moon in Leo that happened at the end of January. And so that happens in my career house. And so I was waiting for that full moon for something to peak or to have a culmination or an illumination and to give me an answer for this career area of my life, this decision on this event. I heard nothing, crickets. And 2 days after that full moon, my friend, the Aries, the triple Aries, calls me and was like, guess what? The owner of the land, I went straight to him. He wants to have a meeting with us at 5 p.m. Meet me at the land. And I was like, oh my God, this might actually happen. So we walked out there and I'd never seen it before. And it just was so calm, so peaceful, so serene. It's on his private property. So we don't have to worry about the city. We have, freedom to do whatever we want. And that was like, oh my gosh, can we really do this? And so he was in agreement with us and offered up the space. So it had parking, it had everything we could need to throw this event together. So, like I said, it grew from just like an astrological New Year party to me having access to this huge piece of land. And I thought, we have to make this a retreat. That is what the Astrological New Year is about. It's about being bold and brave, stepping into our dreams, taking risks, healing, prioritizing the self, looking at our needs and our wants and our desires. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to help people prioritize their healing, to take bold action, to make moves, and to leave this event feeling so fired up that they can literally accomplish anything. Like the toddler under 7 climbing to the top of the jungle gym, even though it's 10 times their height. That's what we're going to do. So now it is morphed into part celebration, part retreat, and part market because we wanted to welcome in vendors and practitioners that could offer services and products that would help facilitate the healing. And since my company is called Holistic Soul Sister Co., and we help people heal holistically and grow spiritually, we decided to incorporate both into the event. So, with that being said, it is transformed into this magical day of all sorts of activities, all sorts of practitioners, all sorts of ways to make this day your own wellness retreat, and to a la carte it in any way that you need it to look like for you. So, kind of moving into what the event is actually going to entail is we're going to start our day at 10 a.m. on Sunday, March 19th. Remembering that Sunday, March 19th is actually Astrological New Year Eve. New Year's Day is on March 20th when the sun moves into Aries. So we're going to be New Year's Eving it up together, celebrating and welcoming in this energy. So we're going to start that day at 10 a.m. with yoga. Again, it's all outdoors, so it's a beautiful space, beautiful weather in Florida, and we got to like really utilize that energy. So starting out with yoga to ground us in the space, connect us with one another, and to just open ourselves up. It's not going to be an intense yoga flow because obviously we're outside and we have a long day ahead of us, but just gentle yoga. And then after that, I will do an astrological presentation, kind of talking more about Aries energy and what we can anticipate and more of the logistics about the event. After that, everyone's going to be dismissed into what we're calling the energetic playground. And this is the funnest part about the event. The energetic playground is your 2-hour window where you get to go play. You get to go to the practitioners and the healers and get services done. You get to go to the vendors and learn about what they make and their gifts. You get to network and socialize with people. And we're also going to have workshop tents during the energetic playground. So if you want to go and learn, we're going to have experts from all different topics sharing every 30 minutes on different things. And so there'll be 2 workshop tents, one on the holistic healing side and one on the spiritual growth side. So the entire day will kind of be segmented into one side of the land will be holistic healing, focusing on the physical body. And the other side of the land will be the spiritual growth playground where you're focusing on the energetic body. So you can walk back and forth between both, and they're not super far apart, but we're kind of going to separate them energetically. So, in the holistic healing workshops, you'll be learning things about the physical body, herbs, movement, acupuncture, acupressure that you can apply at home, like really cool physical things to take with you. And then on the spiritual side, you'll learn about like oracle and tarot cards, crystals, energy healing, herbs that you can use, like all cool things on that side. And then, like I said, there's service providers. So I am freaking loving this. The people that I have drawn into this event, I never would have met. I would have never even known half of these services even existed. And that's kind of the magic of this event is that you're going to be able to come and meet practitioners to help you heal in ways that you didn't even know was possible. And you get to do that at a discounted price. So the practitioners, for instance, if they normally charge like $125 for their service, they're going to discount it at the event to like, let's say $30 for like a shortened session. So you get to try out so many different things in the one day. And, you really get to learn about what's all out there. So you can schedule your a la carte day and your services in advance. I definitely recommend that you do that because you're not going to want to waste time in the morning session looking around and then only have the afternoon session to do healing. So just check our website. It's holisticsoulsisters.com, and we'll be updating all of the practitioners that are going to be available on that day. And you can go ahead and sign up for that ahead of time. So, on the holistic side, we're going to have people that do like reflexology, massage, craniosacral, stretch therapy, chiropractor, acupuncture, ear seating, things like permanent jewelry. We'll have a salt therapy cave, possibly cold plunging and breath work. Like I said, we're just adding so many more people as we meet them and discuss this event in their communities. But know that my personal holistic doctors, my personal healers are going to be there. And a lot of you have asked for their contact info, and this will be a great way for you to network and to meet them. And then same thing on the spiritual side. We're going to have people that do energy healing. So chakra balancing, oracle and tarot card readers, mediums, energy clearing, a spiritual artist that draws like live art right in front of you that like represents your energy. We're going to have henna artists doing like henna tattoos. So many, so many cool things. And some of the product vendors, there'll be anything from like people that sell local produce and plants and herbs to crystals and tarot cards and journals and jewelry and beauty care products, CBD products, botanicals. I mean, so many cool things. Again, I'm making sure to be very selective. We're only letting like one practitioner from each type of modality, one vendor, like only one jewelry vendor. So the more diverse and the more unique, the better. So I'm really, really excited about that experience. So you'll have the energetic playground time 2 hours in the morning, and that will be repeated again in the afternoon. Now, in between the morning and the afternoon sessions, we'll have some scheduled events on the live stage. And so we will be having laughter yoga. If you've never experienced laughter yoga, it is literally the best thing ever. And like I said, I'm trying to be really intentional with the Aries season, the Aries energy, the astrological New Year energy. And it's the toddler under 7. So it doesn't take itself too seriously. And laughter yoga is exactly that. There's no yoga involved, but there's a whole lot of laughing involved. So literally, you just laugh to laugh for like a half hour straight. It's fun exercises, not like fitness exercises, but activities that promote laughter. And you feel so high and so good after laughing for 30 minutes straight. So we'll be doing a laughter yoga session. We're going to have a sensual dance workshop, which is going to help us move like stuck and stored and stagnant energy to like move through our bodies, to tap into our bodies, to feel more sensual. Again, Aries is a fire energy, so it's about passion and intensity. So we're going to be able to tap into that. And then we'll have the afternoon session of the energetic playground. And also throughout the day, we're going to have a shamanic drumming teepee. So you can essentially go into the teepee and receive shamanic drumming by local Native American tribes. So we're going to be having some Native American medicine men there, and healers of all sorts on energetic planes doing drumming. And you just go into the teepee and get some drumming done on you. And ooh, it feels so good. You don't even say anything. You just go in and lay down on these big fluffy pillows and blankets, and oh, it's going to be so amazing. And for the fact that it's outside, even better. So that's kind of what the entire day is going to look like until we get to the New Year's Eve celebration, the best part of the night. And like I said, this whole day is for you to a la carte. So you can come and go as you please. If you live local, you can go home and come back, or maybe you don't want to show up until later in the afternoon. It's totally up to you. But you're not going to want to miss the best part. And we ask that everyone get there by 4:30, let's say 5 o'clock at the absolute latest, because we're going to be going into a drum circle leading us into a cacao ceremony. And I cannot wait for this. Now, I facilitate cacao ceremonies, I do sound bath meditations, but I'm not hosting this one. We are flying in a gentleman from Guatemala. His name is Mateo. I experienced a cacao ceremony with him back at my spiritual retreat. If you did not catch my podcast episode on my 4-day spiritual retreat, definitely go listen to that episode after this one, because Joy, the woman who does the laughing yoga, is going to be here at the Astrological New Year event. My shaman, holistic doctor, she's going to be at this event doing shamanic drumming, which I talked about that we did at the retreat. And then Mateo, the gentleman who led our cacao ceremony, is the same person who's going to be leading it for this event. So Mateo will be in town from Guatemala, bringing the cacao from the Mayan village that he lives in, which has been raised and harvested and blessed by shamans before he administers that medicine to us. And the best part about it is we're going to start a drum circle from 5 to 6 around Mateo, who will be chopping and prepping and cooking the cacao over a fire right in front of us as we drum and chant and sing around him. It's going to be so powerful and beautiful to be a part of. You can go into the center of the circle and help prepare the cacao with him, which would be really fun for all of us to infuse our energy into it. But then as we get towards 6 p.m., he will be giving us the cacao medicine, and we will be guided into a meditation under the sunset as the stars come out, while we're having a sound bath meditation. So we will be having crystal sound bowls, brass sound bowls, drums, and different instruments that are being played that are going to help us feel and experience the medicine of cacao. Now, if you've never done a cacao ceremony, they are so powerful. It is just pure cacao, so like chocolate on steroids, served to us in a drink. And it opens the heart chakra. It helps you feel love. It helps you feel empathy. It helps you feel compassion. It heals you on an energetic level. It heals broken hearts. It heals blocks in intimacy. Like, it opens you up and allows you to feel and express emotion. And that is so powerful to experience. But I think the astrological new year and that new moon that's happening the following day is really going to maximize that energy. And the fact that Mateo is serving us the medicine and this is his jam and he does it around the world, we are so blessed, so lucky, so fortunate to have him here with us at this event. So you definitely don't want to miss it. That part alone is going to be a once in a lifetime experience. So that's going to be kind of the way that our evening ends. The astrological New Year Eve, going out with a bang in a cacao ceremony with a sound bath. And then the stars are going to come out. And yeah, people are probably going to need to get home. It is a Sunday evening. I highly recommend you take Monday morning off, but you don't have to. I mean, you'll be home at a decent time and you'll probably feel so energized and sleep so well after all that healing. So that will be absolutely amazing. And I'll be sending everyone home with a gift bag that's going to include items in it to do your own new moon ritual on the astrological new year the following day. So, like sage bundles and candles and different things that you can use for your rituals. So, that's going to be included in your ticket price as well. So much that we're going to be offering for just $99. You know, when it came to that price point, I struggled a little bit because, it's my first event as far as on this grand scale, and it is freaking pricey. Like, it is taking a risk. Let me tell you, like, when I said in my Instagram stories I wanted to throw up when I decided to do this, I was taking on a lot of commitment. Porta potties and the land and the vendors and the practitioners and I mean just all the things that goes into insurance and making banners and making a website. Like, holy freaking moly. I have an event planner. I got to pay the event planner, like, and Mateo and the cacao and the gift bags. And but you know what, at the end of the day, like, I'm willing to take a loss because I know how much healing it's going to bring to the world. And my North Node is to lead. My North Node is to bring healing to people physically and spiritually. So, like, I don't really care about that. I'm willing to put it out there. And so, I decided on $99 because I wanted there to be a room in people's budget to come and spend money on the day of for additional healing for the practitioners. $20 for reflexology, $20 for a tarot card reading, $20 for some crystals that you want to take home, right? Like, at $99, you still have a budget that you can get things done, specific services. And so I felt really comfortable with that. So again, we're only selling the 100 tickets. So when those are sold out, they are sold out. And we are still looking for vendors. So if you personally want to come offer a service or you have a product or an artistic gift you want to share, definitely open to still having you. We're also going to have food trucks that are going to be providing like healthy, holistic food options. So there'll be food trucks on site to, eat all day. We're going to have vendors that make like vegan and keto treats. We're going to have coffee bars and tea vendors and people that do smoothies and local fresh fruit and fresh produce. So it's definitely going to have everything that you need on the day of the event, along with an amazing community of people. I think the value that everyone will get in finding their tribe, in meeting like minded people, and meeting practitioners that offer services, like, that itself will just be so magical. So I'm just, I'm so excited for it. I can't wait to see how it transforms people's lives and just see the magic that comes of that day. So I just wanted to share with you my why and what it's going to look like and just all of the leaps I'm taking on this. And yeah, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being a part of my community. If you are a holistic soul sister that is not local to Tampa, we're going to miss you at this event. And I'm thinking about, if it goes well, maybe doing these all over. My event planner is amazing. She runs like Ironman races, does corporate retreats. Like she is such a guru when it comes to event planning. So she does races all over the country. So I feel like we could totally make this happen in different places. But let's start with Tampa first, 1 year at a time. So we will miss you if you can't make it and you're not local. But if you are local and you don't come, girl, you are missing out. Like you are missing out on something so magical. If you have more questions, just head over to, like I said, we have a website, holisticsoulsisters.com. We're updating vendor information all the time. Again, go reach out and a la carte your day ahead of time so you can maximize the time. And also, you will see a frequently asked questions page. So if you have more questions, you can always reach out to me. We also have a Facebook event page where the vendors will be uploading like what they're going to be offering and videos and all sorts of more fun information. So that's all I wanted to share with you. And I just send you so much love and light through the energetic transits of March. Give yourself grace and patience along with other people as they are also experiencing these transits and changes in their life. Don't take anything personal as people start shifting their needs and wants, as people start stepping up and speaking up and asking for their needs to be met, as people start prioritizing themselves and being more selfish, like honor it within them and use that space or that void to fulfill yourself and to focus on yourself. So I know that can be uncomfortable if you're with somebody and they start going into hermit mode or they say no to hanging out with you, like that leaves a void. But with that void, you need to fill it with you. That is the Aries energy that we're going to have to embody, like I said, for the next 5 to 7 years. And it begins now. So it's a chapter, it's a journey, it's a transition, it's all of those things. And as a relational astrologer, I am here to help you navigate that in any way I can. I mean, the Astrological New Year event is one way, the retrograde astrology journal is another way, or a private birth chart reading is probably your best way to navigate that within yourself. So I still have those available, limiting my readings up until the 19th because of the event and the intention. I need to focus on that. So I will probably be picking up readings at the end of March or again at the beginning of April. So just go check my calendar. You find it in my Instagram bio, or if you get on the email list, all of that jazz. Um, and again, thank you so much for being here, my community, my tribe, my sisters, and my brothers. I know I have some men that listen, and thank you for being here as well and supporting all of us as women on this planet. And I will catch you in next week's episode. And until then, keep healing holistically and growing spiritually.